We now head out towards Wirral's southernmost border, where we will visit possibly the most enchanting little village on the peninsula. But on the way, we will stop at Brimstage, enjoying Wirral's magnificent countryside. Brimstage is famous for its hall, which is well worth a visit. Little is known about the history of Brimstage Hall, but it is believed to date back to before 1350. However, there is no evidence showing when and for whom it was built, but it is speculated that it was once the administrative centre of Wirral. A stone carving in the chapel is believed to be the original Cheshire Cat. Once we have enjoyed the rustic charm of the village, we can visit the Brimstage Hall of today. It's a wonderful Wirral Sunday morning. Hear the sparrows sing their song in every tree. The village clock is chiming out its greetings, and there's nowhere in the world I'd rather be. It's a wonderful Wirral Sunday morning. See the farmer's tractor resting by the hay. Listen to the sound of distant church bells, ringing out their welcome to the day. Could there be a better way to spend a morning? Could your senses ever be more satisfied? As to the backdrop of a distant silent sandbank, the fishing boats move out to catch the tide. It's a wonderful Wirral Sunday morning. From the meadows to the docklands, silent cranes. From the busy towns and open windy marshlands, to the treetops of the twisting leafy lanes. As you pass the park and look between the railings, you can see the squirrels rustling through the leaves. The sycamores greet every passing stroller, as through each branch the sunlight gently weaves. It's a wonderful Wirral Sunday morning. Hear the sparrows sing their song in every tree. The village clock is chiming out its greetings, and there's nowhere in the world I'd rather be. Travelling on via two mills, we reach the border of Wirral and find hidden just off the Welsh road the village of Shottick, which unbelievably used to be a port of Chester in the 13th and 14th centuries. St. Michael's Church dates back to the 11th century, but only one thing remains of those times: the doorway. Grooves can be observed in the stone walls of the porch,
This is where the 16th century archers sharpened their arrows while waiting to go off to war. It was from Shottick that Henry III invaded Wales in 1245, followed by Edward I in 1278. The church building was altered and enlarged in the 14th century. It is hard to believe that the river, which can now barely be seen, used to lap the small wall below the churchyard. The proof of this being a rusty iron ring, once used for securing boats. Like all other anchorages along the coast, Shottick eventually silted up, but it has still kept its ghostly personality. From here, we travel to the opposite end of Wirral to take a closer look at another landmark we generally only see from a distance. The War Memorial at West Kirby.
Nowhere I have ever been compares to what I see in all the splendor in between the Mersey and the Dee. An autumn walk beside the Burkitt's ever gentle flow, the twilight silence following a winter's fall of snow, raindrops on a windy park bench dancing to and fro, reflected in a brook. The many proud reminders of a distant bygone age, memories of a rusty pier on floating landing stage, a noisy fairground which has just become another page inside a history book. Nowhere I have ever been compares to what I see in all the splendor in between the Mersey and the Dee. The moss along the seawall where the tide has left its mark, the special feeling when you're walking through the country park, moonlight on the Dee which makes it glisten in the dark as you look out to sea. Hilbury on a summer's day across the silver sand, sunrise over Colley's early morning wonderland. Only those who feel it in their hearts will understand what it will always mean to me. Nowhere I have ever been compares to what I see in all the splendor in between the Mersey and the Dee. The cliffs along the coast, a tall direction post pointing to a footpath and a stile, and any time of day along the motorway, the scenery which changes every mile. Nowhere I have ever been compares to what I see in all the splendor in between the Mersey and the Dee. Nowhere I have ever been compares to what I see in all the splendor in between the Mersey and the Dee.
They fought for God and country so we could all be free, and now they should be more than just a name to you and me. For who can place a value on that which has no price? As in the smoke of battle they made their sacrifice. They faced the fierce aggressor and carved our destiny, and though the years go by, we must preserve their memory. For were it not for they, the world would be a different place. This glorious peninsula would have a different face. And now upon a hillside, where people come and go, their names look out across the land they fought for long ago. Though time has dried the tears of those they sadly left behind, and wartime rests in peace within the background of our minds, the words carved in the stonework we should constantly recall. They shall not be forgotten. A message to us all.